what's your favorite find today? Or say something about the day.
I gotta look at the stack. God. I put a lot of records in William's hands.
True.
If you go by that, Mr. Bill. I put records in all these guys' hands today, as it is custom. And I'm dizzy.
Yeah.
And we looked at a lot of records starting at 10 a.m. I don't know, it's 7 o'clock.
Hello, Vinyl community. How you doing? It's Bill with the Vinylverse. A few weeks ago, family and me, we took a drive down to Charlotte, North Carolina, like we do practically every June. Go see my wife's sister and her family, spend some time down there. And when I'm down there, I always try to get out and meet up with John, the Digital Gramophone, and Dave. He's back to his old channel name now, I think, Local Bandography. He was the VC ambassador. Several past years, we've met up, gone record digging for the day. This year was no different, with one exception. We had a special guest drive up from Orlando, Florida, and that was Brad over at H2 Vinyl.
Who is this guy?
Hey, Brad.
What am I doing? Who am I with?
That was such a special treat that Brad drove up, spent the day with us. Getting to meet Brad and hang out with him for the day was just awesome. We had a great day. The four of us had a great day. A lot of records picked up. We went to 5 record stores throughout the day. 2 meals, lunch and dinner. Just a great day all around. So it made the trip for me. So to outline the day, around 10:15 in the morning, I drove over to Repo Records, and Dave was already in there waiting for me, already looking through stuff. So we hung out in Repo Records, and then from there we went to Noble Records. And shortly after we got there, Brad arrived, and then shortly after Brad, John arrived. So after spending time in Noble Records, we took a drive over to Poet's Vault, which is in the Sleepy Poet Antique Mall. Last year I went there, but I didn't know about the Poet's Vault. Poet's Vault is like a record store that is attached to the Sleepy Poet Antique Mall. Last year I walked through the entire Antique Mall going from booth to booth looking for records. And when I was about to leave, I saw Poet's Vault at the end of the building there. So I was not going to miss it this year. So we went there. After Poet's Vault, we grabbed some barbecue lunch at Rock Store Barbecue, which is an annual thing for me now. Thank you, John, for introducing that place to me several years back. Love it there. Authentic North Carolina barbecue. Then from there, we drove over to Lunchbox Records, spent some time there, and then we finished up at Premium Sound. And after Premium Sound, we got some dinner at an Irish pub. We had a great day, just a great day. A lot of records. So I'm going to go through them here. First, VCLT was exchanged. And all 3 of those guys were very generous with me. John, starting with a couple soul R&B singles here, which really awesome. Sam and Dave, I thank you on the Stax label. Wrap it up. So super cool. He also gave me the Delphonics Didn't I Blow Your Mind this time? Back with Down is Up, Up is Down. So thank you very much, John. Love them. I will say all these records that I got in singles, I'm almost done cleaning everything and getting through everything. Haven't listened to everything, probably listened to maybe half. So Dave surprised me with two records, very generous of him. First being Ghost Trees. So Ghost Trees, a duo, Brent Bagwell on tenor saxophone and Seth Nana on drums. So they are free jazz, but Dave assured me that this is nothing crazy. It's very accessible, maybe even a little more traditional. So that was the first thing he surprised me with. This is one of the items I haven't cleaned or listened to yet. But he also gave me this. It's Terry Riley Standards and Kopichizawa Sessions #1. And this came with a 7-inch. I haven't listened to the 7-inch yet, but I have listened to the record, and gorgeous, beautiful record. Mostly acoustic. Some of the side B has some synthesizer, but really, really great ambient jazz. So it's got a lot of standards on it. Isn't It Romantic? Around Midnight. It Could Happen to You. Yeah. So this was very cool. I really enjoyed listening to this. Thank you so much, Dave. And then finally, when we were at Premium Sound, which was the last store we visited, Brad was looking at this record, or he held it up or something, and I just made a offhanded comment that I love that album, but I don't even have it on vinyl. He kind of had a very surprised look, and then he bought it, took the price tag off, and he handed it over to me. And that is Portishead Dummy, their debut album from 1994. Yeah, this is a 2014 reissue. Yeah, always loved this album. Just never owned it. So thank you so much, Brad. If you're watching this, yeah, really appreciate this, Brad. Thanks so much. All right, now into the stuff I picked up. So starting at Repo Records, like I said, I wanted to go through their, they have these drawers and drawers of singles, 7-inch singles. So I wanted to go through them. I did go through their new arrivals and checked a couple different sections, but I made it a point to go through the 45s and picked up 4 things here, starting with Genesis Abacab. And this is another record on the B side. This is a UK pressing, which is very cool. It's funny, I already have an Abacab single, but it has Who Done It on the B side. So the Genesis fan in me, I wanted to get this one that has another record. Another Genesis 45 single here. Follow You, Follow Me. Again, UK pressing. This has Bow to Big on the B side. I also have a US version of Follow You, Follow Me that has Inside and Out on the B side. So this is very cool. Then going into my 80s singles vault, I found Roy Orbison, You Got It. And the B side is The Only One. And then I also found, I collect CCR, Creedence Clearwater Revival singles. And this is Sweet Hitchhiker with Door to Door on the B side. So those are cool. This is on the Fantasy label there. Now I also picked up 12-inch single, and that is Phil Collins' Take Me Home, with the extended mix on the B side and the vocal LP version on the A side. So cool to have that. And the last thing I picked up at Repo Records was Billy Cobham's Spectrum. Now I already have a copy of this, but I needed an upgrade. And this is an upgrade. So, and it was super cheap, so I wasn't going to leave it there. Really, really nice. Excellent album. Love Spectrum by Billy Cobham. So yeah, that's everything I picked up at Repo Records. Then, like I said, from there we drove Dave hopped in my car. We drove over to Noble Records and got after it right away. Dave wasted no time to put this in my hands. This is Thelonious Monk Straightener Chaser, an album I did not have, but this is a early 70s pressing, I believe, and in tremendous shape. Really, really, really clean. So, on Columbia there. So Dave got me on that one. But if once I had seen it anyway, I probably would have grabbed it. Then I found Anthony Braxton, 4 Compositions Quartet, 1984. Great album. Listened to this last week. Will say there's actually 6 compositions on it, so it's titled 4 Compositions, but there's actually 6, and the labels say 6 compositions. Yeah, this is put out in 1985 from Black Saint. On the Black Saint label, I should say, which is there. So yeah, really happy with this one. Plays excellent, sounded great. There was a couple other Anthony Braxton albums there. There was another one from 1985. I forget how many compositions, but it was in the same style. Anthony Braxton compositions. Might have even been a quintet from 1985. But I ended up leaving that there and grabbing this one. Then I found this, which has been on the want list for a long time. This is Ring, the Gary Burton quintet with Eberhard Weber. This is on ECM Records. So I was super happy to find this. There's ECM. It's another one that I haven't played yet, but really excited. So this came out, this was recorded and came out in 1974. So excited to have this one. Then I found John McLaughlin Extrapolation. Yeah, Extrapolation. Super cheap. One I didn't have. I think this is John McLaughlin's first solo album, debut solo album. Yeah, so great jazz rock, more in the jazz realm. So super happy to have this. Was 1972, and it is on Polydor. It's got a cutout there, but yeah, was excited to find that one. And then the piece de resistance. I picked up the Tangerine Dream, 70 to 80 bucks. This is something that I had always wanted. It's been in my Discogs cart many times, but I've never pulled the trigger. So Dylan had this there, and it was really Brad who convinced me that to get it, because I was on the shelf if I should pick it up or not, and he was basically saying that I would probably have regrets leaving it behind. Yeah, there's the hype stickers. So a lot of this I already have on record, but there's one side of the album that is stuff I don't have, so that makes it worth it. 4 LP, and it comes with this great book here. There's some staining and stuff on this. Looks like it had some moisture maybe, but this is chock full of all kinds of pictures, which are awesome. I was There was another sticker on the front of the box that I was working to get off the other night, and after I did that, I just went through this book, and really, really awesome. You can see some staining and stuff there, but still cool nonetheless. And 4 LPs on Virgin. This is where that other sticker was that I got off. So yeah, thanks Brad for convincing me to get that, because you're absolutely right. I would have regretted it. The final thing I picked up from Repo Records, we were getting ready to leave, and Dave started going through the 45s and pulled this out, handed it to me. I was like, So this is Jade Warrior on the Vertigo label, from their released album, their second album, Barazimbar, and We Have Reason to Believe. So that is very cool. There's the Vertigo swirl. It's another one I haven't cleaned yet, but we'll do so soon. So Repo Records, great stuff. I like going through there. I didn't go through every single thing this year like I did last year. But Dylan wasn't in that day that we were there. But that's fine. I met Dylan a handful of times now. But we had a lot of fun in Repo Records, and everybody found some cool stuff. All right, so from there we went over to Poet's Vault, like I mentioned, which is in an antique mall, and picked up a couple things there, starting with Nectar's third album, Sounds Like This. This is a double album. Really cool. This is very, very jammy. A lot of almost, it's just a lot of jams. I think they were trying to capture, this is on United Artists. I think they were trying to capture their live sound in the studio, which is why there was so many jams. So I'm not sure if it was improvisation or not, but really, really great. So love Nectar, and this one's really good. So prog rock, little spacey. All their album covers are very cool to look at. So yeah, really happy with this. And now this next thing, if the Tangerine Dream box wasn't my find of the day, then it was this. And I couldn't believe it. John found it in the bins for me. It is John Coltrane, Interstellar Space. It's a promo copy. So this is John Coltrane with Rashid Ali. So John Coltrane on tenor sax and bells. He's credited here, and then Rashid Ali on drums. And it says, in an astonishing series of duets, Mars, Venus, Jupiter, and Saturn. So long time, big time one for me. There's the two gentlemen there. So this was recorded in 1967, probably about 4 or 5 months before John Coltrane passed away. But it didn't come out on record until 1974. There's the white label Impulse label. White label promo Impulse label, I should say. So super cool, and really I was just so happy to find this. So John pulled it and knew right away that I wanted it, and so happy to have it. So those are the 2 records I got from Poet's Vault. From there we went and got some North Carolina barbecue at a place called Rock Store Barbecue. It's a tradition to go there now for lunch when I'm down there, and that was great. And we had a good time there, just chatting it up for a little while before we went on to Lunchbox Records. And Lunchbox Records, I grabbed a couple things. Again, I was busy looking around in different sections, and John had been up in the jazz section, and he found this for me, which is one that I wanted. It's McCoy Tyner Super Trios on Milestone. It's a double LP, and on here you got two trios. So you got McCoy Tyner with Ron Carter and Tony Williams. So McCoy Tyner piano, Ron Carter on bass, and Tony Williams on drums. And then the other trio is McCoy Tyner with Eddie Gomez on bass and Jack DeJohnette on drums. So two incredible lineups. Some of my absolute favorite musicians there. Yeah, I said this was on the Milestone label. So, had been on the lookout for this one, and John found it for me and handed it over, which was awesome. And the next thing I picked up at Lunchbox, speaking of Tony Williams, this is the new Tony Williams Lifetime, Believe It. And what year is this? 75, 73? Yeah, it's 1975 it looks like. So this is just some great fusion, jazz rock fusion, really, really great. I was listening to this the other day, and oh man, this is a great one. So on here, one of the things that I was most excited about is Alan Holdsworth on guitar. Alan Holdsworth is just an incredible guitarist. So thrilled to have this. Yeah. So those are the two things I picked up at Lunchbox Records. I was hoping to find something back in the experimental section, and there were some things that I was on the fence about, but I had already been picking up a lot, so I kind of left things behind. So from Lunchbox, we then drove over to Premium Sound. And first thing I picked up, John was looking at this when I walked over to him, and I think he was thinking about getting it. And I said, "Are you getting that?" He's like, "Well, someone has to go home with it." I was like, "Well, I'll get it." And he handed it right over. And I am so happy he did, because this is great. This is David Sylvian with Holger Zakei. So David Sylvian, most notably known for the leader of the band Japan, and Holger Zakei, most notably known for being in Can. And this is their album from 1980, recorded in 86, 87, and then released in 1988. Plight and Premonition. So one side is Plight and one side is Premonition. And I knew that it was something that I wanted. After picking it up, I sampled it a little bit, and I texted John and I said, I thanked him for letting me get it, because it's a home run. It's going to be a home run. And I think John was happy about that. And I listened to, this was the first album I listened to when I got home. And it's ambient, it's really mellow, and it's beautiful. And it is on the Venture label. And it's great. Really happy with this one. Gorgeous record. I am going to try to get this sticker off. Here's a Made in England sticker also. Someone else tried to peel this off prior with not much success, so I'm going to try my hand at getting it off. So really happy with that. And then the final thing I picked up was going through the funk section, the soul and funk section. And I wasn't really seeing anything. And then John was going through it alongside of me, and he slid this one up. He's like, "Do you have this?" He's like, "You should really get this if you don't have it." And that is Mothership Connection by Parliament. So no, I don't have any Parliament records. This is the first one. It was a really, really good price. Does show signs of wear, you know, some scuffing and stuff. It's on Casablanca. You probably can't see anything, but other than some slight surface noise in between tracks, and you know, in the run out or in the when you drop the needle the first time, it plays great, and the music kind of overpowers any of that background surface noise that may be there. So yeah, was happy, especially for the price, because this album probably goes for more than double of what it was being asked for. So so great pickup. And that is everything that I picked up on my trip to North Carolina. So it was a great day. We had a lot of fun. A lot of records were purchased. Yeah, and thanks for letting me show you everything and sitting through watching what I grabbed while in Charlotte, North Carolina. So with that, I'm going to sign off here. I hope everyone's doing well, and appreciate you all watching. And thanks for anyone new who has subscribed and is watching. I really appreciate it. And I'll talk to you again soon. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye now. All right, Brad.
Best find?
Best find, or what do you want to say about the day?
Probably the Shadow. Yeah,
Very nice.
that Shadow.
Very nice.
He
Shadow.
found it. He found it. It's from his tapes.
Early
before,
tapes.
Yeah, before he actually released his first album, introducing. So, 92 to 96.
Reconstructed.
Yeah.
I'm looking for those tapes, which are going to cost me more than
The record.
What now?
What now? Playing a video game.
Am I on video right now?
Yeah.
Who am I talking to?
Your favorite find of the day, or
My
say something
favorite
about
find of the day?
Say something that something about the day.
Well, apparently I was supposed to buy a bunch of Dave's records today, but I don't think that happened.
Oh,
so, I don't
who
know.
spilled the beans on that?
I don't know.
I don't know.
And
I don't
honestly,
know either.
if that happened, that would have been bad for him, because I probably would have paid him more for the records than he got for them. So I don't understand. Like,
It would have just come
anyway.
full circle for me buying
I
that.
did buy a Black Sabbath
Elliott Smith.
1970 Capitol Green Label record,
Green Label.
and I paid $20 less for it than Dave did. I don't know.
Mine has writing on the cover.
I got nothing.
Rough in the streets.
Yep.
Never buy classic rock from Dylan.